Welcome to the Components of Writing series.
Hi, my name is Yvonne Samuels, and today I will be going over the differences between summary and analysis. In college, most courses will require an analysis essay with sections that require brief summaries specifically of what was read for your essay. But what is the difference between summary and analysis? First, let me explain that summary and analysis are tools that we use when writing essays, and they are two completely different types of devices that we use for our essays, whether in an English course, history course, or even a chemistry lab report. This video will go over the main differences and how to use them and for what purposes they are used for within writing an essay. Well, let's first discuss summary. What is a summary? A summary is a concise overview including the main points and/or highlights of either something read or seen. In other words, if you had to explain a certain text, poem, or video to someone who hasn't read or seen it, how would you quickly describe it without giving too much detail or your opinion? So now let's discuss how and when does one write a summary or summarize within their essay. No matter what kind of essay you're writing, you will always use summary in one way or another. Summary will not be your main objective, unless it's a summary essay, of course, for the majority of your assigned essays, but it is a tool we use within our papers. There are three specific times that when writing an essay, summary is required and helpful. First, no matter what type of essay you are writing, you will always have to summarize your main text and/or main subject of your essay. Second, when writing an essay, you will have to use sources such as articles, books, or even videos for your essays as your main evidence. When you add those sources, you will always have to give a couple of sentences quickly summarizing your source, especially if you're adding a certain quote or paraphrase. It helps to quickly summarize in a few sentences where you're getting your evidence from. And lastly, the conclusion of your written essay should always include summarizing the main points of your essay. Now, let's dive into analysis. While summary means just explaining the main points of any text, an analysis is the opportunity to dig deeply into the underlying meaning and/or message and the significance of the topic or the text itself, whether it's a book, poem, article, or even a film. Analysis will usually be your main objective when writing essays, specifically any type of analysis essay, but it is also used within research papers and argumentative essays. Here are some brief examples of the type of analysis you might do within your college courses. For English courses, you might be working on a fictional or poetry analysis, where one might discuss the importance of certain symbolism from a certain story or poem, and so on. Or even in an argumentative or rhetorical paper, where one might analyze the importance of certain discussion points in their essays. Or let's say for a history class, you might have to analyze a certain historical moment that happened, and you will have to explain the importance of that moment. Or for a political science course, you might have to analyze a certain political or social issue and how it affects society. And the list goes on, because there will be multiple times when analysis is used when writing essays for the majority of your college courses. So, to sum up, the main difference with summary and analysis is that with summary, you're just giving brief details of what you read, and analysis is diving deep into the meaning of what you read, and you will be using them at different times. Summarizing will only be used when you're just trying to summarize quickly of what you have to explain, and analysis will be usually the main objective of explaining the significance of certain topics and text itself. I hope this video helps you to understand the difference between summary and analysis and when to use these tools for your essays. Thank you and goodbye.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Components of Writing series. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, keep learning, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next Components of Writing series episode.